Gaming mice come in various price tiers, and often we are too caught up in the bells and whistles featured on flagship models. It is always refreshing to see companies return to the basics with entry-level products that deliver the necessary fundamental features at an affordable price. However, designing an affordable gaming mouse brings with it a unique set of challenges, as trade-offs occur and manufacturers have to strike a balance between cost and performance. Keeping that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Alex from Custom PC Review, aka Salty Dead Sea, and this is the review of the Cougar 250M gaming mouse. Coming in at an attractive price of $29.99, the 250M looks very appealing at first glance. The exterior shell has an ambidextrous shape to accommodate right and left-handed users alike. Personally, I'm a strong opponent of ambidextrous mice, as I find it much more important for users to find a mouse that is built for your main hand. I am aware at the same time that some people actually do prefer the uniform shape of the ambidextrous mouse over the contoured form-fitting shape of left or right specific mouse. It is not ideal from an ergonomic standpoint, but for some users who have grown used to it, this can be a positive feature. The 250M comes in two colorways, white with orange accents and black with orange accents. As you can see, we have our hands on the black color wave and it looks pretty sharp with two orange thumb paddles and gaming inspired plastic accent pieces that lie on either side of the mouse wheel. I would say that the mouse is average in weight in comparison to most of the mouse I have used before. Weighing 100 grams is just slightly less than the Razer Death Adder, which is my main mouse. Thus, from my experience using it for approximately a month, I managed to get accustomed to the feel of the mouse quite fast. This gentle learning curve may also be attributed to the fact that the 250M has an optical sensor similar to my Death Adder. The tracking feels mostly accurate with real-world testing. I can say it holds up quite well against other sensors in this entry cost price range. The only thing in terms of tracking that has thrown me off my game when using this mouse is the liftoff distance. Compared to the other mice I'm accustomed to, which include the Razer Death Adder, SteelSeries Rival, SteelSeries Sensei, and Myonix Nio 7000, the Cougar 250M feels awkward. As I lift my mouse up to readjust it, it continues to track some of the movement and thus throws off my aim. This is a flaw for any game, as I spend extra time lifting it to the point of cutoff when I'd rather be adjusting during that span of time. Another one of my gripes with the 250M is the customization of the mouse. Specifically, the lack of options in the Cougar UIX software and the bugginess of the software. In terms of the customization of the RGB LED mouse wheel, I do not have much to complain about. You get 3 modes: breathing, constant light, and off. Plenty of colors to choose from. Note that the colors are not exactly what you see on the screen, as the orange looks too red, but that really isn't a big of a deal because you can spend more time finicking around with it. Where the problem lies in the software is the functionality customization and calibration. For a market that is accustomed to streamlined software suites like SteelSeries Engine and Razer Synapse, the Cougar UIX looks and feels outdated. Dpi settings are locked at 500, 1000, 1250, 1750, 2000, and 4000, even though the sliders at first glance may suggest smaller increment changes. This leaves people toying with in-game settings in several games to find a middle ground between the set of DPI, and for shame, I would have put this off as a minor problem if the mouse was running driverless like the final mouse, but for a product that requires you to install proprietary drivers/software, this is a big disappointment. But this surprisingly was not the most annoying part of using the Cougar 250M. No, the one aspect of the UIX software that drove me insane was the fact that the software will require me to have the mouse connected when installing the software and keep it plugged in if you wish to tweak anything in the software. If I happen to be a gamer who has to go and transport his or her setup consistently, which I am as I'm using a laptop for most of my gaming nowadays, I will face the problem of having to reinstall the software every time I unplug and reconnect the Cougar 250M. Failure to do so will lead me to have a prompt saying that the Cougar device is no longer connected, and it will not detect it unless I have it plugged in and reinstall the software. I could go on a long rant on how frustrating this was during testing as I tried to fit this into my daily routine. However, that will provide little value to you as the viewer. And before you comment saying, "Oh Alex, why didn't you contact their support to resolve the problem?" The reason is I have contacted the Cougar representative and I've received some troubleshooting solution, but it was not very clear. And that leads me to my final point about Cougar and their attempt at an entry mouse. When it comes down to it, the company simply does not have the resources from their own support nor their community to address bugs as fast as their competitors. More well-developed brands have large community-driven forums who contribute to the optimizing of their products, and often enough I get a forum member providing me with a solution quicker than waiting for my support ticket to go through. Sadly, this is not the case with Cougar. I cannot doubt that the 250M is a solid entry mouse that promises to be a solid step up from the office-oriented OEM mice low-budget gamers often find themselves using. I cannot doubt that its cost to performance ratio leans to the value-friendly side. What I can doubt is the competitiveness of the product in a market where refurbished higher-end mice and flash or group purchase options have led to even greater competition in the entry-level market, and as of now, I am unable to recommend the Cougar 250M as a suitable gaming mice with its finicky liftoff distance, poor customization, and dreadful software.